It's been... Well, I'll tell you one thing. It has been way too long since I've done the recording for this. I was gonna do it yesterday. But then, my computer, as metaphorically as possible without being literally, exploded the second I hit the record button. Like, I spent the next 3 hours trying to get my computer working again. Things haven't blown up yet, so I'm hoping that this will be the day I finally finish Mega Man X for the first time. I'll tell you one thing, while I was waiting for my computer to shut after it blew up, I've practiced a lot. I practiced this game a lot. Specifically, this boss fight. We'll see if this practice pays off. And I'm gonna level with you guys. I've tried to do this without save states, but I've tried, so if I die, the handrails are off. I will restrict myself to only doing it between phases of the boss fight, but I am not doing this entire thing in one shot. If I do a first try, then so be it, but there's a 99% chance that I will be implementing the modern technologies of my NES Classic to get through this game in one piece, cause it was a fun ride, but no one deserves to be stuck on a single boss fight for over 3 months. We'll leave it at that. So, while I could use the homing shot in the first phase, I think I'll just stick to the plain old X-Buster. Treat this like the real attempt, reading it through fully, and go from there. Welcome. I see you managed to get here by yourself. Very impressive. I could destroy you, but I would not rob my pet of that pleasure. He knows how to deal with betrayers. Should you live, I will be waiting for you. Don't disappoint me, X. Well, hopefully I don't die a robot dog first fight. Ah shoot, I was about to say... I kinda had know the pattern it goes into right away. But I just realized all those practices were done without commentary. So it might be a little bit harder to actually do my little stick that you may know me on the internet for while trying to fight this guy. A few things I have picked up from the last time we've played, by we I mean me, you can actually, you might see me done it a couple times, but you can actually like stop his attacks if you hit him with a charge shot as he was going at you. It's easier said than done, of course, but it is a possibility. I did that without using an energy tank. Is that save state worthy though? Yeah, we'll try one shot, see how far we get, and then I'll add the save states into the formula. Excellent job, X. I see why Zero counted on you. You're almost as good of a hunter as I was. But the time for your destruction has arrived. You shall have regret ever defying me. Okay, here's the strats. I did try to look up on the internet for advice of how to fight this guy, cause come on, we've had so many attempts at this guy already. It's even the point. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a cheap strategy, but I'm gonna do it. We are gonna cling on this wall all day and just shoot him with electro beams as we fall down. I'm not even gonna take the balls to try to shoot him as he's coming back up. We're gonna take this nice and slow. I don't even got anything to say. Do I got anything to edit in from the past, or should I say the future, to help dull out this insufferable moment? And I just realized how bad it was. I mean, my gameplay's good. You guys remember when I was unable to pull off a simple thing as wall jumping back and forth without getting hit. This used to be just as hard as a dog, and yet, look at that, we're already down to half health and I haven't really even taken a single shot of damage. You guys probably aren't proud of me, but I'm proud of myself. And you know, with the viewership I get, that's what really matters the most. Yeah. For a second there, I thought we were gonna get through this whole portion without me running out of stuff to talk about. So, have you guys played this wondrous game known as Pokemon Go yet? It's an excellent way to get outside and get a little exercise, as long as you don't cheat. There we go. You know what? Can I pause this now? I feel like we've gotten to this phase before, but it's been a real long time that I've actually gotten to it in live. Okay, pause. Be right back. I am gonna drink my pop. Oh my god, the realization just hit me. We're only 7 minutes into this recording. We're already on the final phase, and I haven't used a single sub-tank. I am so proud of myself. All my hard work off screen has actually paid off. 3 months of not being able to get through this final boss fight, and I am closer than ever. Yeah, the only downside to this is that the whole blind element of the game is kinda down, because I know the rolling shield is your best bet against this guy already. But it's better than watching me do this over and over and over and over again, and I timed that way too close. I mean, it might take me a little bit to get back into the swing of things, but we will make this work. Oh my god, this is actually happening. I am actually gonna beat Mega Man X today. I am actually gonna beat my first Mega Man game. It is unreal. Look at me dodge that energy ball light. Like it's nothing. And I did it again. While avoiding the claws and all this other shot that's coming at me. Okay, I mean, we're not all perfect. Give me a little break. We got 3 freaking energy tanks to get through this. I think we'll be A-okay. I mean, I gotta try to avoid the attacks a little bit, just in case. And pay attention to my health. Speak of the clocks. Okay, I'll admit, things aren't looking as hot as they were just a minute ago. But I mean, I still got 1 E-tank in the bank. I can do this. I can do this. We can't have can'ts. That's how everything goes downhill. Come on, life, give me this one little thing. You know, it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Let me get this first shot. Please. I'm begging you. Okay, got the claw back up right away. I mean, I got hit again and it did quite a bit of damage for just getting patted on the back. But hey, we're doing okay. We're down to half health and we still have half our health left, ignoring the fact that I've used about 2 E-tanks just to get to this point. We can do this. I can do this. It's gonna be great. And I'm dead. Alright, round 2. I almost went for the fire right away. Okay, I got a little confession to make. It's a little bit jarring to go from the NES Classic screen to the gameplay, because on the Classic screen you use A to select, and I usually associate jumping with selecting, but in the game I think it's B to jump. See, I already forgot and I only stopped playing for a second. This was my first... the SNES was my first childhood console. However, that's the thing. I played in childhood. The SNES we had just magically disappeared one day, and we never had it since. so I am not as familiar with this controller. I spent more years with the GameCube controller than I have an NES controller, let's just say that. Okay, now let me focus a little bit more on the game. I'm sorry I didn't entertain you guys with just some riveting gameplay as I was commentating those particular comments, but I really felt the need of make sure that I had you guys had my undivided attention for that particular moment. Okay, please fire. Don't be a duke. I don't know how I dodged that, but I'm glad I did. Jeez, I don't know why I'm having such trouble with the fire lately. Normally this isn't an issue. Ugh. But I do still feel more confident than before, and the fact that we failed this already kind of just means that it's not as big of a deal if it takes me 5 tries or 2 tries. The magic of 1 try is gone, so the pressure is off. I knew I needed E-Tank there, but I got freaking greedy. That's all there is to it. And he's setting fire, I need to be on this side of the screen. Except, yeah, the timing of that can be a little bit tricky, I have to admit. But it is plausible. This is a lot more plausible than the I was gonna say than the other phases, but now I think more about it, it's only really the dog that's been giving me trouble. I guess it's... Okay, this is definitely giving me more trouble, but I guess the fact... I feel pretty relieved that I don't have to spend the entire fight just rapidly pressing the Y button, or I mean pressing the B button while holding the Y button, which was the way I was originally doing. I was trying to do charge attacks with my weapons, while the normal attacks were doing just as much, if not more damage. So just being on that phase of the boss fight gives me a huge sense of relief that I don't have to do that anymore. Oh my god. I think the worst part about these claws is the whole concept that you have to... Well, just the fact that if you get caught underneath, you can't just jump through and get on top. You can't just make the damage you took not in vain. You still are bound to get hurt. We are already down to our last sub-tank. This is sad. And I do know that if I were to like die enough times, I'd get that 4th sub-tank to appear. And that would definitely be enough to take care of this guy, but I have played this boss fight way too many times already. I am not feeling up to the concept of just doing that one phase, wall jump, breaking my thumb, just pressing Y, B while holding Y, climbing up that wall. I mean, in hindsight, who the heck thought it was a good idea to make the final boss fight just a literal climb up a wall? Like, did someone actually play test that? Because I don't see how anyone could have thought that was a good idea. How could they not realize that people's thumbs were gonna die in agony trying to do that particular part of the fight over and over? How did no one think that through? And that's right, I am out of sub-tank, so if I get here, I'm dying. There's no room around it. I might as well call myself dead now, but the longer I wait before I die, the more I can practice the patterns of the boss fight, and the more I can progress. I don't know, I personally think I got a good system going on here. Die, reset. Forget that I'm not full on health, so pretty much any hit I take, I gotta use an E-Tank right away. As I was saying, die, reset, pop, resume. Pretty good life I'm living right now, to be honest. And I'm so glad that I actually got recording going, and live commentary isn't a complete train wreck. Maybe because I just had a whole day to get warmed up, not just with the gameplay, but like, I was still having a little bit of issues even after getting my computer working, so I decided to screw it, I'm gonna play a different game and commentate that. And granted, I don't think any of that footage is ever gonna make the light of day. I think I'm just gonna redo that whole game when I come back to it. But I feel like it at least gave me a good chunk of time to practice my commentary. This might be the best Mega Man X commentary I've had in a good long time, if not in this whole series. Though I could be saying that too soon, I'm just talking about right now. As we continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, it's inevitable that I'm gonna run out of stuff to say. I don't have that wide of a history of this game, and the little bit of Mega Man experience I have is a tiny little bit I've played of Mega Man 9. So eventually, if nothing changes in the gameplay you're seeing now, I am not going to have anything new to say. Ladies and gentlemen, we just reached that point. Oh my god, and there's not even worth bringing up a new tangent to talk, cause I am about to die. Gentlemen, have I spoke to you lately about our Lord and Savior, Pokemon Go? I joke about it, but I do admit I talk about it way too much. It's a little sad, but it's actually had a lot more of an impact than most games I've played in the modern age. And I'll admit, gameplay-wise, it is pretty relatively inferior to practically anything that's not on a mobile device. But just the whole concept of having to go out, walk around. I say the game has such an impact on my life just because I've never really had an incentive to walk. The closest to that I've ever gotten is ironically with these commentary playthroughs. Back in the old days, when I was really deeply into commentary and making enough videos to edit every single day, I actually watched over my videos to make sure that they were working properly, and the best way to kill time for me at the time was to walk while looking over my own videos. I wouldn't even say it's not artistic, because you gotta review your stuff to make sure that it's good quality. At least that's what I used to think. How did I take so much damage without using my first E-Tank when I didn't even have that much health? The world may never know. So I did a lot of personal editing just to make sure that my videos... I overviewed my videos to make sure that they were good. And since exercise is something people need in their lives, I figured why not just walk while watching my videos. And that's how I walked for a while. But eventually I made less and less videos. So I walked less and less. A little bit sad, I know. But I know I have the desire to walk deep down inside, but the way I value my time, I feel like I have to be doing something while walking, otherwise I can't convince myself to walk. And that's where Pokemon Go really came in. It's more for a fun reason than a work reason. Not to necessarily say my videos are work, but it's not playing a game. I think Pokemon Go really filled that void in my life. And because I was walking so much due to the game, I came across the desire to actually play. I needed stuff to listen to while I walked. Because I wasn't listening to the game audio, it freed up my ears to actually listen to something so I could actually walk while playing, but still have room to do something else, and that's how I really got into all the podcasts I listen to these days. First I started looking up people that I knew, and that's how I found top-down perspectives, because I was looking for people that I was already familiar with to listen to, and Proton John is one of the co-hosts of that. For those of you who aren't familiar with the LP community, let's just say Proton John's a pretty big part of it, and technically an inspiration for my inspiration. think... it's a shame we're gonna die already. And I was really enjoying that story too. No, actually, no. Let me have a few moments of silence, because I just realized how close we were! No! Never mind. No. I am not already... This is already not off to a great start. I almost want to restart before I even fight. That's the reason I haven't used any tank, despite how desperately I needed it. So, last time, when I actually had a really long-ranging off-topic discussion, and you know, I am not really feeling this round. Dash, shoot, in both senses of the words. Anyways, I think the last time I was talking about top-down perspective. It's a podcast I watch, or listen to, I mean. And back when I first started listening to it, I pretty much listened to it all the time while playing Pokemon Go. Then I found podcasts of Pokemon Go. So I can have a little meta going on where I play my Pokemon Go while listening to Pokemon Go, because I like the Pokemon Go's. Now, if only I could do as good as that one round, the last round. The not technical last round, but the round that was technically not technical. Granted, I don't really listen to podcasts as I walk too much anymore. We'll get into that if this battle range is not long enough. But the one reason I want to make sure I get out is mostly just due to the fact that there's a lot more I do. Like, I now have to drive an hour to work, and my job's actually giving me the luxury of actually listening to stuff as I work. So a lot of times I save the podcast for that. And then thanks to the glory of YouTube Red, you're welcome YouTube. You're actually gonna get a shout out from a YouTuber who was so minuscule in your whole grand scheme of things. He didn't get enough views to meet your qualifications to retain his YouTube partnership. That's another story though. And YouTube Red just allowed me to, instead of, a big reason why I didn't listen to videos while I walked, even though I'm already listening to more videos than I'm actually sitting down and watching, was because I am a data hoard, and watching streams, videos, etc. I'm doing the dumb thing where I'm hitting X instead of Y. That's why past few attempts have been going so bad, because I get up there, I'm about ready to shoot, but I gotta jump off to avoid the lightning ball, or the lightning strike, and I frickin' press X instead of Y. You know what? Now that I said it out loud, maybe I won't get it mixed up. Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun video to edit. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm getting on so many tangents I'm forgetting where I left off on the main story. Or if I covered all my tangents before going back to the main story is the big thing. Because I know the last thing we're talking about was the fact that I found Pokemon Go themed podcasts. Now, I was just about to give a shout out to my unofficial sponsor, YouTube Red. So why not get that out of the way? I know it's not a well-loved feature, and I get it. Especially since, yes, you shouldn't have to pay to watch videos in audio-only mode. You shouldn't have to pay to watch videos without sound. But I'm okay with it, just because that I'm already considering it like a contribution to my favorite content creators, and the other features are just a bonus. Being able to download stuff from onto my phone without going through technicalities that may or may not be approved by my perfectly legal ways of listening to content before I discovered the glory of YouTube Red. How did I not die there? But yeah, that's been a really great help in killing the time, because the work I'm doing has just enough focus and appeal to particular parts of my brain where I can actually listen to stuff and still be productive with my job, if not more so productive. And that's a luxury I know most people don't get, even not including the fact that most people don't have the luxury of a job. Man, dang, this is way too close. So after... I think I actually found Power Pros, basically a podcast that was co-hosted by former Nintendo Power Magazine employees. I'll get to that in a sec. Yeah, I highly recommend Power Pros to anyone who's a fan of Nintendo. Not even a fan of Nintendo Power, but just a fan of Nintendo in general. Dang it. Why do I have to relearn the controls every time I die and not totally reset? Because I am totally legitimately doing this, getting to the boss with this much health every single time, right? Anyways, Power Pros is pretty fun. It's a good way to catch up on Nintendo news, and it's fun. That's about as much as I can say about it without completely losing my focus. I'm already dying just trying to move this topic in my brain to the next tangent of the conversation that I am sort of improving, but already had planned way before. Like, I didn't plan in advance, but it's all planned out now. Just a matter of getting it out of my freaking mouth without getting hit by a robot man every 10 seconds. Ouch. So, Power Pro is great. Through them, I discovered that there's another Nintendo Power theme podcast that's actually a little different in format. Still run by a Nintendo Power employee technically, but you actually hear interviews directly with staff of Nintendo employees, like the Treehouse team and I think the developers of Celeste were on one of the episodes. Dang it, why can't I remember the name of that particular podcast? I mean, they only upload every other month, so that might be part of it, but I thought I have them down more than that. Maybe it's just called the Nintendo Power Podcast, while the one that I found before is called Power Pros. Maybe. I'll have to add it into editing since I'm already doing so much editing work, cutting out everything in between failed attempt and the start of a new attempt. Anyways. And I'm just gonna wait for my inevitable demise. That way we can actually move on to the next part of this podcast-based, Pokemon Go-based conversation. Oh yeah, and there's one other podcast I listen to. I'm not gonna give a shout out today because how did I not die? If I unpause without using the sub-tank, am I gonna die? Probably not worth risking it. But yeah, like, they're a little more political. I'm not sure if political is the best way to describe it, but for the sake of entertainment, I will not mention them right now, just in case. There's probably it's a different tone than I'm currently going for, as I'm repeatedly getting my fictional character murdered by another fictional character in this cartoony world of the video games. But yeah, podcasts have been a great part of my Pokemon Go experience. I guess it's the point of all this. But because I found so many great people to listen to, it's also made my work experience so much better. Like, I would not love my job that I'm currently at as much as I do if it wasn't for the fact that I had all these wonderful people to listen to. And even shoutouts to YouTube Red, because I already had so many wonderful content creators on the world of YouTube that I like to watch, but I never have the time to get around to because life. Like, you have to spend 8 hours a day going from making your money to assess your little needs. I'm glad I just checked to see if I had another sub tank or not. And due to the ability to download and listen to things on audio, that is something I can actually do. I can actually watch so many of the content creators that I normally wouldn't get a chance to watch. And it makes the pretty terrible drive I have to make it on a daily basis quite a bit more enjoyable as well. Speaking of things that make my drive an enjoyable experience when they would otherwise be terrible, I love listening to I can't even think of the term, like DJ mix or something, like, you know, where they take all those corny pop songs and remix them a little bit, and that I've only really found one station that does it, and I'm not gonna give any shoutouts to those because that might be a little too local for my own personal taste. As much as I find when people tell stories about themselves to really enlighten and improve commentary of gameplay, I personally draw the line when just the information comes too personal, because I do like to keep a little bit of a line between my entertainment and my real life. I say that like I'm some sort of nighttime entertainer or something, but no. Dear gods of Alpine, please, oh please, oh please, have the last recording still render as I'm doing the other part. I just realized that I've had issues in the past with that happening. I really don't want to have... This commentary's been going so great. I really don't want to have issues that just because I break it off just to make sure I'm safe, that everything goes wrong and I only have half a video. Amen. So guys, remember when I had a really long and engaging story of commentary? Well, I noticed the video was over half an hour long, so I broke away, just stopped the recording to make sure I had something, and started anew, and in that time frame, I forgot where I left off. I know I was talking a lot about podcasts and YouTube and... Oh yeah, I was getting to the point where I'm talking about the radio. Radio is cool. Only really listen to it before I go to sleep and on the drive up to work, but it really helps make the latter more bearable. I love when I do that thing where I press X when I'm meaning to press Y. I love the fact that I never learn even more. But we just gotta keep moving on with our lives, and instead of dwell on the negative things, focus on what makes life worth living. Like I'm kinda doing right here. With my talks about the radio. I love when they have that like hour long remix of just all the pop songs. I wouldn't describe myself as a pop fan, but I do like the fact that they go out of their ways to just make all these songs more interesting. You know, I wasn't feeling that last run anyways, and you know, give me 1 second, I want to make sure that, oh, sing the heaven above, it looks like the last part that I broke away recorded just fine. So, without that stress in the back of my mind, I can focus on the game and commentary. Which is still gonna suck because I'm still doing 2 things rather than 3. So if I can get off 1 hit, just 1, before taking my first hit, we are in good shape, folks. As I say that. But radio really makes the drive great, just like how I love to press the X button instead of the Y button. That is so great, ain't it, guys? I could probably get away with 2, but I'm so... You know, this run's going terrible anyway, so let me get back up on these claws and test that fury. If I could get 2 rolling shields off before falling. No, he has invincibility frames. I was gonna say, there was no reason for me not to die to the boss. When I could have taken it out that much quicker. But alas, it wasn't as easy as I thought. Speaking of, just consider me dead. Even before I got into Pokemon Go, oh my god. Even before I got into Pokemon Go, those remixes on the radio always saved my day. I just happened to stumble upon one day after work, back when I was in an even shoddier job than I currently am in. But it was fine, and thanks to the remixes. Not the job, life, I guess. I mean, life was a little bit terrible back then, but I gotta count my blessings nowadays, especially when I compare how bad things used to be to how okay they are now. There's still a lot more I want to get out of my life, but I guess I still have a lot of life left to live. And it's just wonderful to... For the longest time, every song I hear on this remix show that they do on the radio always sounded better than the original song. It took a little bit of time for me to start getting critical of it all, but dang, I still appreciate it. Every time I get a chance to listen to it, it just brightens the whole drive home, especially since nowadays my drive's gone from about like 20 minutes to half an hour, all the way up to like 45 to a full hour. And why did I not E-tank there? Oh my god, I had down to less than half health. If I was actually paying attention enough to use my E-tanks, we could have beaten the guy this time. So, remember when I said that whole topic I had in mind was so long? I never thought we would beat the boss before I reached the end of it. I'm kind of wondering if that's actually going to happen now. Because I keep going back to the radio and I can't remember where I wanted to take this conversation after that. I think I've said about everything about the radio that I had to say. Not a part of my life I usually like to define myself by, but definitely something that really makes it a lot better. And it's... maybe I should just take around, try to do as much as I can to this guy without trying to tell a whole story. And was I dashing without pressing X? It certainly felt like it. Yeah. So, how about those spicy yellow meatballs that I keep colliding into? How do they taste that? Are you enjoying the little green-blue meatballs? I really wish I could hit this guy with 2 of my little... I guess... I want to call them meatballs too, but they're not the same as the meatballs that are coming out of this guy's mouth. You know, I just realized how disgusting it was when I had to use this meatball analogy. When the words meatball out of his mouth came out of my particular mouth. Yeah, I may have had a regrettable choice of words right there. But, you know, it really sucked if we actually beat this, had all these wonderful stories to go on, and I end this commentary of this game on talked about frickin' meatballs. Thankfully, it doesn't look like we're actually going to beat them this time, so that won't be the case. And I am indeed out of sub-tanks. Man, if we had that 4th sub-tank, we would have been done with this so long ago. However, I refuse. I refuse to do the other 2 phases of this boss fight again. It was that bad to go through wall jumping.exe. I'd much rather do this over and over and over again than any of the other phases, and how did I not die? I think I have just the sweet spot of health that no matter what attack he does, he cannot kill me right away, no matter which attack he does. And that's really darn perfect, all things considering. Dude. So, I mean, I know we talked about Pokemon Go a bit ago, and I managed to defer the conversation away from that to topics that people would actually want to listen to. But I'm going to divide it back to Pokemon Go again, because that seems to be a good place to get tangents from. A second thought, I changed my mind. There's something even better than Pokemon Go to talk about. That whole charity stream that happened a couple weeks ago, hosted by a bunch of YouTubers that I've been listening to for a while, including Proton John, who I brought up earlier in this conversation of never-ending death against Stigma. And that's the Phone Controller Coliseum. That was a pretty darn good time, I'll admit. One downside I've been having with work for a while is there's, quote, no Wi-Fi at work. So I've had to rely on downloading a whole ton of videos in advance and just hoping it was enough to get through the day. And with the whole thing, a lot of times there wasn't enough videos to go today. Or if it was, they'd take up so much space that YouTube Red would decide to randomly delete some of the videos until I connected to Wi-Fi, which I couldn't do because I was at work without a Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, technically there is a Wi-Fi hotspot at work, but I can never get into it because technical difficulties. However, when the Phone Controller stream happened not too long ago, I was determined to be able to listen to it as much as I could, so I played around with the idea, monkeyed around with the issues I was having, and I got it to work. I was able to connect to the Wi-Fi. And that Friday was spent majorly listening to the stream, and it was great. And like I said, I am good at working while listening to stuff, so it didn't even take away from my ability to work at all. I'll admit that was a less constructive day, but trust me, it was for other reasons besides the stream. I promise you. In fact, I'll give a little bit of detail of what exactly made it so distracting. Co-workers decided to have a party, a going away party for a co-worker, and I'll leave it to that. Just the fact that I had to attend a going away party instead of working, I think makes it self-explanatory of how I was able to get less work done on that day. Oh my god, I still have a spare E-Tank. I can do it. This is gonna be the run. Just gotta get on the hand and jump off like I've been doing the past several times. And just gotta do it like 2 more times and we will be good. Let's use that E-Tank. I definitely have Rolling Shield to spare. Oh my god, this is gonna be the run, the run, the run, the run, the run. Just one more hit and it's done. Dashing under balls. Get hit by the claw. And you are good friend, my done. You are done, my good friend. No, it's not possible. I am a Reploid. I cannot be destroyed by you. I love how I'm giving him such a nonchalant voice when he's blowing up in front of my face. Why have you done this to us? Without the humans, my Reploid brothers could have ushered in a new age. Boom, 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 boom goes the dynamite. Mixing and matching my songs as I feel my boom, boom. There it goes, that island is set to explode. It's not gonna explode because this is an SNES game. Oh, there's our fight explosion! The war has ended for now, and peace has been restored. But those who were sacrificed themselves for the victory will never return. We swear. Exhausted, X gazes at the destruction he helped cause and wonders why he chose to fight. Was there another way? Nah, there wasn't. Standing on the cliff, the answer seemed to escape him. He only knows that he'll fight the Mavericks again before he finds his answer. How long will he keep fighting? How long will his pain last? Maybe only the X-Buster on his hand knows for sure. And that's my playthrough of Mega Man X. I'll admit, I'm glad I finally got to fully experience this game. Despite the fact that it felt like I spent a century on the final boss. I guess in terms of the internet age, I have spent a century, if not more. It was a good run though. I'm glad I can finally say I beat a Mega Man game. I've completed, quote unquote, a Mega Man game. And this wasn't a bad one to have that first experience with. As I've said several times, I played Mega Man 9, like one time at my game group in college. But I never really got too far in that game. I remember playing Splash Woman stage. I may or may not have tried a couple other stages. But I never even got to the end of one of them, so beating Cho Penguin, that is an experience I'll take with me for the rest of my gaming life. And the fact that I was able to make such a new memory so late in my life, considering just how little I feel like I do games anymore. Just the fact that I'm able to continue to make new memories for playing games for the internet kind of helps me drive myself going forward. So much has changed since the last playthrough I've done. What's the last playthrough all I can remember is Chippy Robo Ziplash, but I swear there had been another first through before that. Whatever the case may be though, it was a fine run. And I'm glad I finally was able to beat a Mega Man game. It's weird, I feel like I should have had a lot more to say, but that basically covers the basics. And isn't there credits or something? Oh, here we go. The only downside of this project was just how long it dragged on, mostly just because of things on my end though. That super long hiatus where I was just stuck on the final boss might have been an issue. And this is all on my end, because as I'm recording this, I have not even uploaded the first episode. I've only vaguely hinted that I'm even LPing Mega Man X, and by vaguely hint I mean flat out show half of the first episode. It's part of a little April Fool's video, so maybe I even threw some people off. Maybe some people don't even believe that I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Mega Man X before the first episode goes up. Well, here I am just finishing it up now. And despite the fact that there are downsides to this sort of method of playing, I think it actually works out for me. I have this all recorded in the backlog, so even if I feel like I don't get another opportunity for a recording session for a really long time, I'm actually able to complete it. Or, I'm able to work on this playthrough, get up for you guys. As I'm recording this, I'm about like 2 episodes left for Sonic Adventure. I think I'm actually going to start uploading this as soon as I finish Mega Man X. Or I mean finish uploading Sonic Adventure. And that's a great feeling to know that I have it ready. Oh, you have won a temporary... In time, I will find other bodies strong enough to do my bidding, and I will return. I shall see you soon, X. Very soon. I'm so sorry, I didn't read the first line there. I was so caught in my own thoughts. I was starting to wonder if we were just stuck on this screen forever. Speaking of, is this the last screen? Now, only other thing I can think of to talk about, will I do other Mega Man games in the future? Probably not, but if people are interested, I'm willing to consider. I did this one just because it was conveniently on my console and I wanted to have a Mega Man experience. And we'll see if anything else comes along our way. I'll admit, I thought my opportunity to do Let's Plays were kind of coming to a close, but being able to finish this project proves otherwise. Who knows how long I'll keep going? Who knows who still cares at this point? But as long as I'm having fun, that's a reason to share my fun with others. Now, I swear, this is not the end.